My boomer parents were late to my son's graduation, judged everyone there, and then dropped a bomb that made me kick them out of my house forever. Plus one update. EO original posti. I just need to vent. My son's high school graduation was earlier this week. I had invited my parents, both in their late 70s, at the beginning of the year. They kept seesawing on coming or not coming. They eventually agreed to come about 3 weeks before graduation, which was okay, and I thought, cool. They had to drive in from out of state. The day of, the schedule was pretty clear to them. The ceremony's start time, when doors opened an hour beforehand, and parking opening 15 minutes before that, were all clearly communicated to them. Parking was going to fill up quickly because over 250 kids were graduating, and you know some of these kids had about 7 generations of family showing up. I told them to meet me at the parking garage at the 15 minutes before doors open mark. So what did they do? They left their hotel, located 25 minutes away, 1 minute before that. I got complained too loudly for not waiting for them, even though 15 minutes after the doors opened, it was turning into standing room only. When we realized they were not going to be here and parked by the time the doors opened, my husband, our other kid, and I went to go wait in the line. Thank goodness we did, because about 5 minutes later, the line was down the street to the next block over. They wanted us to come back out to get them, which was impossible because the sea of people were all pushing one way. I was not about to battle an entire army of people to get back out. There was no other way out either. We were lucky to get in when we did, to get the seats we did, because by the time my parents texted they arrived, standing room was the only thing left. My mom then spent the entire first part of the ceremony people watching, with a super judgy face on. She kept telling my other kid that the lady with all the piercings and tattoos probably does not have a job, going nowhere in life, and so on. I shushed her and got the look. The look no longer affected me since I had just spent the last 18 years improving my own look in return. Also, for some reason, my son's full middle name did not get read out. They just said his initial instead. I do not know why or how it got missed, but I nearly missed getting pictures of my son getting his diploma on stage because she was complaining loudly about it. Some pictures turned out blurry because she kept smacking my arm. Luckily, my husband got some pictures, but oh my goodness, I would have cried if we did not get some sort of decent picture. She snapped at my other kid because we did the whole woo cheer when his name was called. Compared to the other people in the arena, I doubt he even heard us, because it was just me and our other kid. My husband could not cheer because he was trying to line up shots around people walking in front of us, and his brain could not do 2 things at once. One of the kid speakers, who was perhaps the class president, was talking about evolution and how we got to the point we were at today, and my mom complained about that. She said, they should be thanking God. God got them here. Not even a Christian school, I reminded her. She also complained because some of the young ladies were wearing headscarves, saying, they let them in this school? Good grief, it is a public school, Mom. They are still people too, just like you, though probably less of a rude person. I also got comments from her about the kids with green hair, blue hair, purple hair, and one girl with clown clothes on. She said, they are going nowhere in life. I thought to myself, they just graduated. Their life is just starting. The girl with the clown clothes was wearing a bunch of different graduation cords and had her name in the program with several scholarships listed. I pointedly told my other kid, and this is why we do not judge people based on their looks. They have tried to talk my son out of going to his choice of college. They think it is going to be too far away from me. Once we drop him off, we have to move across the country due to military orders, and that it is in a bad part of town. They are trying to paint some picture that my son is going to be stabbed, shot, mugged, and left for dead. While the city the school is in obviously has some crime, the college itself has released its safety reports and has not had many issues or much crime. I used her favorite line when I voice a worry. It is all up to God. Even though I am not even religious or Christian anymore, I managed to get the look again when I said that. They are here for the rest of the weekend. We have another promotion ceremony for our other kid this weekend for 8th grade, so send help please. I think dealing with them has given me gray hairs. Updates. I have gotten a few direct messages from people wondering if I made it through my parents' visit. I did make it through, but my relationship with my mother did not. We are currently not on speaking terms. Well, to be more specific, I am not on speaking terms with her, though she has been refusing to accept that. The weekend after my post, we had made plans to meet at 10 a.m. They showed up at 8 a.m., ready to go, with no place to go. They made plans to stay for so long, but made zero plans to fill that time, thinking I would magically come up with something to do. At 8 a.m. On a Saturday morning, I could not even think straight due to lack of coffee at this hour, as I am not a morning person, and I had no idea where my bra was. But sure, I was expected to pull out something to do from nowhere. They were just like, let us just do what you normally would do on a weekend. Which, no. First, it would be physically impossible for them to do, considering my mother probably needed a walker a decade ago but refuses to use because it ages her. Second, they have no interest in video games or board games. I already tried getting them to play a board game previously, and my mom stuck her nose up at that. Third, there is a lot to do here, but 95% of the things worth doing are outdoors. My mom cries her head off if it is over 71 degrees outside. It is always, I am melting, it is too hot, I am melting, like she is the Wicked Witch of the Midwest. Also, my family and I do not really go out every weekend. We like being home, we like being alone. So there I was, scouring the internet for things to do with elderly people who cannot walk in our area, and still getting suggestions to go hike here or there or over there, while wondering if parent daycare was a thing. Mom was chatting with my husband when she decided to start talking about her favorite subject, Emma, my stepsister, her stepdaughter. The way she gushes about Emma makes you think Emma produced gold nuggets and valuable gems, all while having the cure to cancer in her head. When our parents got married, she kept asking me, "Why can't you be more like Emma?" I do not know, Mom, maybe because I am still a teenager while Emma was pushing 30 at the time. Naturally, Emma was going to be more ahead in life. But from the day they married until now, I was constantly compared to Emma, told to be like Emma, and occasionally called Emma. When I had a mental breakdown in my early 20s and ended up in the psych ward, I was told to get over it or turn to God. But when Emma had a similar situation, it was all. She needs all the help she can get. Emma marries a terrible man who abused her, and my mom is ready to scorch the world. But when I was dating a guy who turned abusive, it was my fault. You get the idea. I have no real issue with Emma, though it took me quite a bit in therapy to get to the point where I am no longer resenting her. These days, we are mainly Facebook friends, liking each other's random photos. So she is gushing to my husband about Emma. I am only half listening until I hear her say, clear as day, "Emma is like the daughter I never had." My husband and her husband went deer in headlights shocked. My son, who is 18, said, "What the heck?" It took my daughter, who is 14, a few seconds longer to process what she heard, but even she caught it. She is not a morning person either. I basically just said, "Well, guess that is that. You can get out of my house now." Of course, I was hit with the, "What did I do?" bit. My son repeated what she said, so she started her gaslighting tactics. "You took it the wrong way. That is not what I meant." And so on. I think with the help of those who commented on my last post, I shined up my backbone a little because I just told her to get out of my house. My husband says I told her, "If you do not have a daughter, then why do I have these old people in my house?" and threatened to throw all her belongings out the window. I do not remember saying any of that, but my son backs it up. I do not remember a lot in the few minutes it took to get her tossed out. After she finally left my house, I broke down crying and got sick. I do not do confrontation very well. She keeps trying to call, text, and email me. My husband managed to get her blocked on my phone, so at least I do not get bombarded with calls and texts anymore. On the first day, before I blocked her, I had over 50 missed calls and 40 text messages from her. She also managed to fill up my voicemail, though I did not listen to any of it. My husband deleted all of them for me as well. She only has my old email account that I use for spam now, so I'm not really seeing those either, though last I looked, over a week ago, there were around 20 emails just from her. I am starting to get a few letters in the regular mail from her too, so, oh joy. I guess she told some sob story to Emma too, because she reached out to me. Luckily, she listened to my side and just told me, "Good for you." She also told me she has never been a huge fan of my mom for reasons like this, but only plays nice and stays civil for her dad's sake. Made me feel a little better knowing that Saint Emma dislikes her too. I was a mess for about a week after everything happened. I still am a mess, but less so. My husband and kids have been working hard to distract me, and I've been keeping up with my therapy sessions every week. She even got me in for an emergency session the next Monday. Luckily, my summer is about to get busy. My husband is taking a month off. We are having a garage sale, preparing to move to a new state, and getting my son ready for college, so I will have plenty to do to keep my mind off things. I did tell my kids they were allowed to have a relationship with either grandma or grandpa, but they were both like, no, they made my mom cry. Then they proceeded to beat me soundly in Mario Kart.